Today on AlphaMail Monday, we're going to talk about the Conor fight. Meghan Markle has some new developments. Eminem released some new music. And we're going to talk about some vegan philosophies. Peace, power, and positive vibes coming to you from AlphaMail Mondays here at the Superior Studios, courtesy of yours truly, Nafir None, and Culture Rich TV. So, basically on AlphaMail Mondays, what we're doing, we're here as a service to you guys out there. So, submit your questions, comments to info@AlphaMailMondays, that's AlphaMailMondays.com. And we'll get to everything. We're not afraid to touch any topics here. Okay, so first up, Conor McGregor, yesterday. Watching this fight with him and Cerrone, UFC 246. The card was decent. The whole card was decent. But, a very good prospect also lost last night. Macy Barber, she got demolished, like destroyed. They say it might have been because of her knee or something like that. But she was a prospect thinking that she's going to come in and be the youngest UFC champion trying to beat Jon Jones' record. Yeah, you failed. Anyway, now Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone. This was an interesting fight. But when I watched the fight, it looked very fishy to me. Now, I know what other people are going to say. Oh, you don't know shit about boxing, or you don't know shit about MMA, or... The fight looked fixed to me. Now, I can't say fixed, but it looked fishy, at the very least. Because Cowboy is a warrior. And although he did not look good in his last few performances, he threw some punches. He threw some strikes. Even when he was in adversity, he threw something. In this fight, he just backed up the whole time, threw one kind of bullshit head kick that looked very telegraphed, and it looked weak. And right after, Conor landed his own head kick on Cerrone, almost like if it was a signal. I don't know. When they were going down, when Conor didn't hit him that much, he caught him with a few. But Cerrone's taken a lot of punishment over his career, and this just didn't seem legit to me. And I'm a real fan. I'm not a fan of people, I'm not a fan of the people in MMA. Yes, I do like people in MMA, right? I like Israel Adesanya. I like Henry Cejudo, even though he's a bit cringy. I like Jon Jones. I like Demetrius Johnson. I like Tyron Woodley. I like Usman. There's a bunch of guys I like. A guy that is very underrated, but he should not be underrated, is Stipe Miocic. He's a very good fighter as well. But as a person who watches the sport for the purity and the pugilism, I didn't find that was too pure at all. At all. Okay? Now, what would be the advantages of Cowboy Cerrone winning last night? To the UFC organization, to Dana White's pockets, to the fan base. What would be the advantages? Cowboy is not going to be in any title contention anytime soon. He's on his way out. And he was only getting 200 grand to show up. And another 200 grand if he wins. If Conor won the fight, I don't know what his purse was, but guaranteed he was making $3 million. Just alone off the purse, I guess. Right? Now, does it make sense for Conor to lose now, after all this money has been put into him and the marketing campaigns and whatnot? Dana's relying on Conor to give another bit of a boost to the UFC, even though we have guys like Israel Adesanya, who is easily the biggest star, or should be the biggest star if they put the money behind him. But they don't put the money behind him. There seems to be some type of a blonde bias. They always be looking for some blonde. I don't know what it is. Maybe Izzy has to dye his hair. Maybe Jon Jones has to dye his hair. Maybe get some blue contacts or something. But I don't understand why they keep saying that Nigeria is not a valid... Nigeria has 200 million people in it. More population than Russia and Ireland combined. So when they talk about, oh, they have a country behind them, you have a whole continent behind these guys, okay? So... if you were being fair and square, then you'd be fair and square, whatever. Now, the advantages for Cerrone, for him throwing the fight, means that Dana gets to get his star boy back. Cerrone gets an extra set of bucks for throwing the fight. Conor gets back on his winning streak. One win. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think the fight was a bit screwed up. I'm not really a fan of what took place last night. Eminem released an album. I think it was yesterday or day before. This guy needs to just stop with his weird beard. He needs to just stop. Because Eminem is akin to the Weird Al Yankovic of the rap game. In my opinion. And yeah, I said it. And if Eminem feels that, like I'm threatening him or something, let him come and try and battle me. The guys who know about me and lyrics and stuff like that, they know. I'm not afraid of any challenge. And Eminem has been shit from day one. When this guy came out with his song, My Name Is, I swear to everything that I think is holy and sacred, that I was watching Rap City on Much Music in Toronto. And I thought this was a parody. I thought this was some type of a commercial about some joke. I thought it was a joke for real. Okay? And then I watched a little bit more and I realized, wait a minute, this is actually a song that they're playing. This is the video? This nonsense is a video? If any black guy had come out with a song like My Name Is, he would have been laughed off the whole rap market. They would have never let that fly. But then when I left my house that same day, I heard the song on the radio. I heard the song in the mall. I heard the song when I was just going to the barber. I heard the song everywhere I would go on the radio stations. So I know how media works. Seems a little bit contrived to me. Okay, they're trying to make a star, again with their Elvis Presley renditions of the way they want to run the rap game. And you know what I mean when I say the Elvis. Eminem even said it himself, that he's like the Elvis, because he knows that. Anyway, I'm not going to go there that far. However, after Eminem started, a whole bunch of crap rap came out after him. Okay? A whole bunch of guys that think that they can rap come out now in this crap. So, his new album, I gave it a scan. Thumbs down. Fuck out of here with that shit. Now, anyway. I think you had something you wanted to discuss, no? Culture?
Yeah. The song I sent to you, what do you think about that song by Govana?
The song was entertaining.
Yeah, most complex lyrics, but it was a storyteller thing. Kind of like
This,
a
I found this.
Jamaican Slick Rick kind of style, and the music was.
I wouldn't go that far, but we're saying Slick Rick. Slick Rick is a legend to me, and I don't know about Governor like that. Okay, but the style-wise, it was a great storytelling session. I found it was exceptional. The way that they conveyed the message. I was watching it. I kind of caught the play. So basically, just to give a little synopsis of the video, a man and a woman are sitting down on a couch. She gets up to go somewhere, and then her phone rings. Dude, fast and out of place, picks up her phone, and sees a guy calling. He answers the phone. And so the guy on the other end is like, let me talk to the daughter. Let me talk to the girl. And the guy's like, who's this? They go, yeah, it's me, yo. Just let me talk to the girl. And he's like, yo, Bridget, that's my wife. That's my girl. The guy goes, and then the person on the other end of the phone basically starts talking about how he used to beat her up. He used to have copulation. He used to have sexual intercourse or coitus. YouTube regulations, you know what I mean? So they used to have some sexual encounters. Or they still do. And basically, the Jamaican term is jacket or something like that?
Well, I don't know if there's no jacket involved, but he's sleeping with the man's wife. The man lives
abroad, right? Another country. Right. But now he's back, right?
The thing I really liked about it was the message.
What was the message to you?
Well, it was plain to see, because at the end of the video, he puts up a little banner about violence against women.
Yeah.
And as you know, I know you keep up on all the news, there's this, in Jamaica, there's so many stories popping up. Maybe every month about a man killing his wife after he finds out.
Bro, that happens in India regular. Yesterday that happened. Tomorrow it's going to happen. That happens everywhere. Where they call it crimes of passion. Where a man and a woman, they're in a love situation, and then something else comes in, maybe a love triangle, and somebody gets murdered. It happens all the time. I wouldn't just say that it's a black thing. This is a thing that happens all over the place. Now, generally speaking, okay? Now, there's exceptions to every rule, but you know me, like, I could take things and look, we're not waiting on nothing to float. So I'm not going to say the exception to the rule is going to be the general rule. So the general rule is, if your girl is out there sleeping with an ex-dude, okay? There's no reason for you as a man to go and do anything violent to the girl.
I agree.
Go and get a next girl. Go and get a next girl. If she got caught, okay, this is game, all right? This is game for you guys. If she got caught and she still wants to stay with you, that means you have a free hall pass for eternity. While you're living with this girl, you can do anything that you want to do with another girl. And if she has a talk, it's like, hey, well, you did, so I do.
But
right?
that's not the way it is, man. Enough men out there, they find out stuff like that.
Alpha male Mondays.
That's why we have
These guys are the betas, kappas, and gammas. And I don't know what they're on because I'm not on that. But you see, if a girl is cheating on you, find the next one. And if you can't, because maybe she has children for you or something like that, you got a free hall pass forever. So don't worry about going and doing her no wickedness. What for? Like, the wickedness that you would do her is not physical.
I say just leave.
Sometimes it's not that easy. If you have attachments and whatnot, sometimes it's not that easy. But I would say if there's no attachments, just leave. Because it's not going to... You think it was the first time? You think it was the first time?
And it won't be the last.
Joke thing, okay? So you see when they started... at the end when they talked about the violence against women,
right.
I understand that. However, it's like those guys are all simps. Like, those guys are all simps. I just don't understand why a guy is going to be violent with a girl. I don't even care if you're Ronda Rousey. If you're a girl, okay, you can't take me. I'm not worried about you taking me. I'm not worried about it. Now, I'm sure there's exceptions to every rule, as I said before. Clarissa Shields, with some boxing gloves on, she might do me something in the ring. But, like, there's exceptions to every rule. But I'm not afraid of a girl harming me physically. Therefore, I can always get up and leave. I can always, even in an argument. Even in an argument.
It's not a physical abuse, or it's not a physical thing. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Like you said, crimes of passion.
Sure.
So the functional thing to do, you have to leave.
Get up and leave.
You have to.
And what's she gonna do? Hold you back? Like, how's she gonna hold? She can't hold you there. You could just let go of me and walk away, right? It's not like she can restrain you or anything. If you are in a situation, young ladies, older ladies, period, okay, where a man is being physically abusive, there is no excuse for that. Okay, there's no excuse for that. There are going to be all kind of justification and rationalizations. Well, I think he loves me. You don't listen. You can die. Okay, it can get very serious. So what I would suggest is there's many different organizations out there to help women that are in desperate need of getting out of a situation. And I'm not trying to say to put more black guys in jail I'm not trying to say that, okay? However, when a man puts his I have daughters. If a man puts his hands on my daughters, I'll rub the time with a smile, okay? So I'm not so I look at women as like they're my daughters. Not all of them, obviously, but I mean, I'm not into the violence against women at all, whatsoever. Now, speaking about women, another woman was getting abused in the press and by the people that were in the country where she was residing. Which woman is that? We're talking about Meghan Markle yet again. But now what's going on? Problems in the palace? Yes, more problems in the palace. Now, it has come to my attention that today, or maybe it was yesterday, she had officially become unofficial. So, I'm okay with the tea right now. Thank you. I have some in my cup right here. Thanks, culture. Now, Meghan said she wants to get out of the UK because she sees what's going on. Prince Harry said, yeah, we see what's going on. I don't want what happened to my mother to happen to her. Let's get out of here. But I think there was a condition. And the condition was something like he has to renounce his tie to the royal family. So it's no more Your Highness and stuff like that. It's just Meghan Markle and Harry, whatever your last name is. No, I don't follow you that much, buddy. But I do follow your wife. Anyway, so, no, I'm not shooting shots, bro. So, now, what would be the reason? I look at things from a strategic aspect, and I always try to critique it using the alpha male centers. We try to stay away from the betas and the kappas, as I told you earlier. Now, what would be the reason that Prince Harry would say, you know what? I'll renounce my titles and will go somewhere else and live like regular people. What would be the reason? Now, when his titles got renounced, apparently they're saying that he's worth $40 million. Prince Harry, who his family owns money. Like money, his family owns money.
His face is on
Okay? Family's face is on the money.
He's like Prince Nafir.
Okay? And you only worth 40 million? I think that's some type of a shelter where they can say, okay, you know what? Here's the money that you have as a layman, but you know you're a billionaire and have access to trillions, okay? So 40 million, and there was no prenup signed. So what do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to make it? You think they're going to make it? After a few years, and Meghan's on screen again acting, and now other dudes can say, yeah, bro, had sex scene with the prince's wife. That's a done deal. That's a done deal. And then when you break up, and I do not wish any ill fortune on your relationship, Meghan and Harry, but when you break up, okay, Harry's going back, getting back all his titles, marrying a Caucasian, because we all know that's the reason why you were getting flack in the UK, okay? You were getting flack because they were saying that you polluted the royal bloodline, even though we know when he goes back and Meghan gets half of the 20 mil, of the 40 mil and gets to 20 mil, then Prince goes back, becomes a trillionaire, marries blonde, blue-eyed, or red hair, blue-eyed, then everything will go back to normal over there, and Meghan will not have any access to any royalty or any type of titles or anything like that. So that's the only reason why I could see Prince Harry renouncing and denouncing his titles or whatnot. Anybody else who has any other view on this, bring it to the table, and we can email it. info@AlphaMail Mondays, and we can chop it up. As I said, I'm not afraid of any topics. When they're critiquing and trying to be judgmental about, well, you can't eat this, and if you eat fur, and or not eat fur, if you wear fur, if you wear leather, etc., okay? Middle fingers start to go up for me. Because these same individuals that do not want to be judged, okay, are out there judging everybody who does not agree with their philosophy, and it seems to be very hostile. Yet still they want to pretend like they have compassion for animals that they cannot communicate with effectively. You can communicate with a human and you choose to do it in the manner, screw you, you wear fur. Instead of having a normal dialogue with the individual, and everybody grows at their own pace. So what happened today might change tomorrow. It doesn't mean that this person who's wearing fur is going to wear fur continually. When an animal dies, the carcass or whatnot, when the natives were using fur and the natives were dealing with leather and stuff like that, you really think that you had more moral and ethical standard than they do? Really? When the colonists came and wiped every single one of them out, yet still you want to talk about save the eggs of a chicken? But when I mention let's save the eggs of a mother, a human, you're telling me that this is irrelevant. And honestly, as I said, I don't eat animal products. But I just don't like I don't like the labels. I just don't want to be labeled by anything, because once you put something in a box, like now you've limited that thing. And there's a saying, they say your arms are too short to box with God, right? My saying is a bit different. You cannot box a God. Basically, you cannot box a God. You cannot put God in a box. I feel that we are gods. We all have divine energy within us. And there's no label that can accurately define me. That's the only reason that I do not subscribe to the terms like vegan and whatever else. However, when I'm dealing with vegans, in the black vegan community, it seems a little bit different, to be honest with you. But I think that's because of the relationship that black people have here on planet Earth with non-black people. I think that might be the reason why. Because we've been enslaved, we've been treated extremely inhumanely. So when we see people, like for example, there's a movie on Netflix with Aaron Hernandez, okay? And Aaron Hernandez, is his name Aaron? Aaron Hernandez, right? And he ended up getting the CTE, and he murdered people, okay? He murdered people. And now there's a Netflix documentary trying to give this guy some type of sympathy, or let's see his side of the story. But But yesterday, you're still trying to crucify Michael Vick for being involved with the dog fighting ring when he wasn't even there. This dude murdered people, and you want me to sympathize when in fact you're a bunch of hypocrites, okay? Because if you were dealing with things from a humane perspective, dealing with everything, because the way that I look at veganism, if you want to say it's about cruelty-free, you have to apply that to every living being, humans included. Now, when you bring up the fact that humans are actually part of the animal family or animal kingdom, then all of a sudden it becomes, well, we're protected. Really? Those child slaves in Asia and in Africa are protected. The elderly people who are in the old folks' homes getting their ass kicked, they're protected. No, but none of you guys are out there protesting. You're protesting for tadpoles. When I go out there and I say, you know what? If cruelty-free and vegan has something to do with cruelty-free, wouldn't that automatically assume or imply that you're pro-life? Now you want to tell me that I'm a toxic male and I shouldn't be talking anything about pregnancy and abortion when I, in fact, did not say anything for or against it. I'm just using logic. If you're saying cruelty-free, then what about the fetus? And now, if you're going to say that some microscopic organism found on Mars or Mercury is life, you're really going to say that the fetus isn't life? You can't have it both ways, okay? So, my advice, and they say that advice is the worst vice, but my advice to you guys is just relax. Don't talk so much. Let people live and let them grow. And treat their opinions and their perspective with the same respect that you want your opinions and perspectives treated with. So, I make a point of not dissing anybody black or black culture or anything like that one in front of anybody else. That is a closed door situation where we can address that there. However, still got to get to this lady. There's a bunch of ladies talking some nonsense out there, but I'm not going to get into the names. But there is a lady named Lizzo, okay? And she has some very nice music. She's a very talented lady. She's very talented, okay? I see the way that she plays her instruments or whatnot. I think it's a flute she plays. And if she plays the flute, she probably can play many woodwind instruments. I can play brass instruments myself. I'm a trombone player.
Up top of the trumpet.
You're a trumpet? Nice. I can play trumpet a bit too. Mouthpiece was a little bit too small. They told me I had fat lips when I was a young guy. So, yeah, I know. But that's what they told me. And they put me on a trombone, but then I excelled in the trombone. I can play many other brass instruments. That's not about me. I appreciate your talent, Lizzo. Okay? And so this is not about that. However, there's certain things that are being encouraged. And I find that we as a people have to stop encouraging mediocrity. We can't celebrate mediocrity, all right? Now, when we know that 90%, actually more than 90%, but let's just say 90% of the fatal diseases encountered by black women are diet related, whose advantage does it serve to promote obesity, sloth, gluttony, and other things or ideas that quicken our death? Whose advantage does it really serve? It's not serving our advantage. When the fibroids and the low self-esteem and the short lifespan is happening, that's our women. That's our women. We're supposed to be protecting our women. So I would say that instead of going and dissing Lizzo, let's encourage her to be more healthy. Let's encourage her to give more positive messages beyond body shaming. So, skinning out in front of little kids, not the best look, okay? But I will encourage positive reinforcements,
True.
Okay, into our youth, because our youth can't be looking at things like this and thinking this is the way to go. Because realistically, most of these entertainers, they are paid actors, okay? So when you're writing your material, that might be you, yes, but enough of these guys don't write their own material. And when you're an actor, you're not dealing with your own material. So you're You're a paid entity, and you will do whatever you need to do to get that check or whatever is being told, right? Now, saying that, we cannot hold certain actors to the same standards that we're gonna hold like our quote unquote leaders, okay? Because if you're being led by an actor, that's a joke thing. That's a joke thing, all right? Now, speaking of which, there's a really good movie that came out. Really good movie. And no, I'm not being led by these actors, okay? But this movie was excellent. It's called Just Mercy. It has Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. And I've gained a lot of respect for Michael B. Jordan over the last few years. He's a very good actor. And his roles, I believe him. I believe him in his roles. Like, I've seen him in several movies now. Now, in this one, I believe the guy's name is Brian Stevenson. Let me just make sure I got the name right. But this is a civil rights lawyer. I don't know civil rights, but yes, it's Brian Stevenson. And it's not like he's a civil rights lawyer, but he was trying to help death row inmates who are wrongfully convicted get off of death row and get some new trials. Now, watching this, it is very disturbing to see that the arrest happened in 88 or 89 maybe for the individual being played by Jamie Foxx, all right? This is 1988, 1989. And if you're seeing the way that the police in Alabama are dealing with black people in the 90s, it is very disheartening because we're only like 30 years removed from that. And for people to try to tell me, oh, they're completely different now, come on, man. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's stuff that's been bred in your family for how long? So what, it just switched off with a light? So I don't really buy that. But definitely it gets 2 thumbs way up. As opposed to Eminem's album, which gets 2 middle fingers way up. Go check out Just Mercy when you get a chance. Please don't try to defend this Eminem guy here, please. Please.
No. I want to talk about the Just Mercy thing.
Okay.
I want to kind of change gears a little bit. The last movie I watched where it kind of reinforces white supremacy, because this is what these movies are doing.
That's right.
I just hate it, man. I don't
I agree. I agree.
I know, like,
I agree.
They get the talents that we like. Michael B. Jordan's hot. The gal them love Michael B. Jordan. Jamie Foxx, he can draw in. They make sure that our women, of course, come in and that we go in. Oh, it's a nice piece of art, but it's reinforcing this ideal.
I actually stopped watching black movies from I was about maybe like 13 to about maybe 17. I just stopped watching them because I was like, I'm not dealing with this propaganda. I'm not dealing with it. So I'll just watch some guys fighting or something like that, or watch a horror movie, but I'm not dealing with this slavery theme. Yeah. Now, there's a few movies that I would say was kind of like the one Birth of a Nation. That reinforced the slavery theme, but took it in a different level where there's a revolt, and the revolt happens, okay? So there's certain movies where there's victories that we deal with. However, that underlying theme of we can still do whatever we want to you is still there. And
that's why they make those movies, man.
In a way, because it wouldn't pass. They would not let it come through all these different publishers, houses, and distribution channels if they didn't. They know exactly what they're doing. So my solution for that, guys, is this. It's really simple. You can't expect Hollywood to promote and push your story the way that you know it should be told, because it's Hollywood. They're built off of our destruction, okay? However, there's another film industry out there that is number 2 on planet Earth. It's called Nollywood. Nollywood, yeah, in Nigeria, all right? And so,
That's number 2.
Number 2 on planet Earth.
What about Bali?
Bollywood is number 3, okay?
Yeah.
Bollywood is number 3. It might have got overtaken within the last couple of years, maybe.
But Nolly's up there.
But Nolly's way up there, bro. Yeah. And so, like, if you're looking at it as black activists or people that are trying to deal with some type of fairness in the media as black people, when you look at Hollywood, and I don't know the numbers, but let's say Hollywood has $100 billion industry per year, okay? As black people, directors, actors, etc., how much percent of that 100 billion do you think you have access to? I would say maybe 1%. Maybe 1%. But if you go to Nollywood, where it's probably around like 10 billion, 15 billion, maybe 20 billion a year, then I think it would be wise to start putting some money and some talent down into Nollywood, and then you will see your story being told the way you want it to be told. What I would like you guys to do, submit your questions to info@AlphaMail Mondays. I'm not going to say subscribe. I will say superscribe. Because we ain't into no subbing things here. This is superior shea butter blends. So we do some superscribe. Give me some likes. We all need the likes and the love. And any type of questions that you do have, we'll try to address them in a timely fashion. And you will see us here again next week.